Now we are going to begin to add procedure calls to our diagram. These are messages. Messages are procedure calls that are passed from one object to another. It is basically a command for the receiving object to perform a certain action. When adding any message, there are certain pieces of information that you are required to enter. Those are the name of the message, the type. A message can be one of three types: a procedure call, a flat flow of control, or an asynchronous stimulus. It occurs many times. If it does, it's a flag that indicates the message is sent over and over, and a guard condition, which is just a condition that must be met, must evaluate to true for the message to be sent. Okay, now I tell you a little quirk about Visible Analyst. You must have saved your sequence diagram as a sequence diagram before you can begin adding procedure calls. Otherwise, it won't let you name them. So make sure that you've said file and that you've saved it as a sequence diagram with the name that we stipulated, which was DMV Sequence Diagram. You can see that right up here. Okay, so you add procedure calls. We can do it through the taskbar up here by clicking on this first heavy black arrow. And then, like you do with other diagrams in Visible Analyst, you go over the activation bar from the object at which the message is being sent. So we're sending a message from the application entry window. Hold down the left mouse button, go over into the middle of the activation bar on the application class and let it up. And then it'll permit you to click on this new method. If you have not saved it as a sequence diagram, this will be grayed out and it'll frustrate you. Okay, so click on that. The name of this message is just going to be new and NEW. And we're going to say, okay, close, and then just okay again. You can change the type here for one of those three, but this is a procedure call, so we'll just leave it just like it is. And we say okay. And then if we click select, then you can see, notice it makes it look like an operation with the little parentheses. Okay, so that's that for the first one. Let's do some more, and we'll do them out of order. Let's add a procedure call with a condition. Okay, so again, we'll go into procedure call mode up here. And this will be from the application class all the way over to DMV database. And you got to be careful. You want to avoid the ends of these things, these activation bars. So we do that. Click, hold down the left mouse button while you're over the activation bar for application. Go straight across to DMV database, then let up, and we have to name it. So we will name this, and it's hard to see in the handout on the PDF that I gave you. Perhaps it's a bit clearer, but if you just printed the pages from the UML tutorial exe file, it's a little blurry. But I can tell you what it is. It is, and it says in there, it is update success. So let's type in the name, update success. Say okay. Leave all these things as they are. But you want to enter a guard condition. And the guard condition is passed. Okay, that means you passed your application. Okay, and so then we say okay again. And if we go over here into select mode so we can see this, right? So your application has been updated in the DMV database. You're sending a message from the application to the DMV database, and the condition is that you passed. Okay, so now the DMV database has you recorded as having passed the application. Let me show you one more, and then we'll do them all invisibly, as it were. Let's do one more, and this will be from application to drive test right here. And the reason I'm showing you this is because the name is very hard to see in the handout. Click New Method, and it's kind of a nonsensical name. It is ISD RVOK. That's all it is. You say OK. We'll accept all of these, and we'll say OK. And again, if you can't see it, it's ISD RVOK. Okay, so now let's finish it off, and I'm going to do them all very fast, invisibly as it were, and then I'll show you what it should look like. So when you've added them all, it should look like this. Don't forget to save your diagram. File, Save, as the same name, DMV Sequence Diagram. Note down here, these two are named the same thing, and I got this right out of the tutorial. I think the second one is redundant. There are some funny things in this tutorial that don't make sense, and I think this is one of them. I don't think you have to send the same update success from application to DMV database 2 times, but I'm just staying consistent with them. They are named the same thing, and they both have the guard condition pass. So this second one really doesn't make sense. This also, you need this, right? New, past. So now let's add a return. An object can send a message in response to a message sent to it earlier. So in our example, the application object returns the message sent to it by the application entry window object. This one, ISDRVOK, whatever that stands for. And so let's place the cursor on the activation bar under drive test. Just place it down here anywhere and click the left mouse button, but first you've got to go up here and get the dashed arrow. Don't forget to do that. This is the return arrow up here. So go into that mode, go down here under the drive test anywhere and click on the left mouse, drag the cursor to the activation bar under application like this and release it. Okay, and you don't have to name this. Okay, but let's save it. You don't have to name that return message. Save it. Every time you change it, you ought to do something to it. You ought to save it. And now we're going to add text notes to the diagram. Let's go back into selection mode for a second. And this is the rightmost button. This is this one here, the T, add text. So let's click this and place we're going to add notes to this ISDRVOK, try to make some sense out of it. So we'll click on that and then put it right underneath that and click the left mouse, and you get an add text window, and we're going to say past equals is driver okay, is DRV okay. So that's what is DRV okay means. Is the driver okay? And he is if he's or she if he's passed. Then just say okay. Save the diagram, file, save, and we can make it look a little better. We can grab this and let's put it right up underneath this where it goes. And when you're done, it should look like this. This is the completed sequence diagram. Save it one more time and we're finished. Next, we'll move on to drawing an interaction collaboration diagram.